together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
Cool. My microphone wasn't working. Awesome. Make sure that's cool. But yeah, today we enter the dog days of summer. No more NBA, no more NHL. And yeah, muted. Yeah, my bad. The mic turned off. Yeah. But yeah. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. What went right, what went wrong in the world of sports betting. Overall, it was a great day yesterday. It started off amazing. I lost the last couple plays, but it is what it is. First 5 under 4.5. Cleveland and Baltimore, never in doubt. Thank you to Anthony Santander for that throw from right field to gun down. I forgot who the base runner was, trying to tag up to make it 3-2. So that was nice. First 5 full game overs with Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I don't bet first 5 overs very often, but when I do, I haven't lost one this year. I think I'm 4-0 on first 5 overs. I'd have to go back and look, which I'll probably go back and look when Tim goes over the recap, just because I'm curious on my first 5 overs. Because usually when I do first 5 overs, they're double ups, first 5 in full game. St. Louis Cardinals plus 104 got a little hairy at the end there. They were up 4-0 at one point. Yeah, and then it was 4-1 at the end of the 5th, and then there was a bunch of zeros until the 9th, where the Braves put up 2 runs to make it 4-3, and then they take care of business. We'll skip to them. We'll do them last. Milwaukee Brewers -1, never in doubt. They were down 2-0, and then 3-1, and then they dropped 5 runs in the 6th inning, including a grand slam, which was absolutely awesome to see. And we got the Freddie Peralta bounce back start, kind of that I was expecting there. And then the Royals run line -115 was a winner. Lost with the White Sox team total over and money line there. As James Paxton just continues to defy the advanced odds, because you look at his advanced numbers, he's one of the worst pitchers in baseball. But somehow he continues to go out there and shove. It's incredibly frustrating. But he will finish with an ERA in the 5s this year. And then the run line for the Padres, they were up 3-0. And wow, I didn't even see this. They went to extra innings, tied 3-3. And the game finished 7-6 in the 10th. The Nationals put up 3 runs in the top of the 10th just for the Padres to put up 4 runs in the bottom half. They did not cover the run line, though. But I had Padres money line on a few like round robins just to run through Bovada money and things like that. So overall, a fantastic night, and it was capped off with the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup. Definitely a little bit more stressful, that series, than I thought it was going to be, especially after the Panthers went up 3-0. It's never easy with the Florida Panthers. Or with that.
The Cardiac Cats.
Cardiac Cats. Yeah, you ain't kidding. And just overall, it was a great game there. Verhaeghe with an awesome deflection goal, and then Sam Reinhart with a game-winning goal to snipe 2-1. Sergei Bobrovsky had an amazing game. He wasn't really tested too much, but I thought he could have won the Conn Smythe. Personally, I thought, but McDavid won the Conn Smythe. We kind of expected that. I said heading into yesterday's game, if the Oilers win, it's Connor McDavid. If the Oilers lose, it's Connor McDavid for the Conn Smythe. So he is the first skater in, I believe, over 40 years forward to win the Conn Smythe, but not the Stanley Cup. So I thought that was kind of interesting there. But the Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup, cash the plus 1,000 future that we've been riding for a while. I know I was getting a lot of shit as the Panthers were slowly letting that series slip away. But I was one of the only ones that stuck with them through that entire series after they fall apart. Saw everybody and their mom on Twitter all over the Edmonton Oilers because they won the previous 3 games, so there's no way they were going to lose last night. So overall, just a great game last night for the Florida Panthers, and it was great to see them win the Stanley Cup. And Bobrovsky was the first person they handed the cup off to, not Okposo, but that was really cool to see.
All right. And we'll flip it over to the site. Break even. It was a zeroed out day. We had 4 plays up on the site. Royals and Giants got there. They're both minus money. Our 2 plus monies were the White Sox and the Padres. They both lost. 2-2, split out, dead even. So it's as if nothing happened on the site yesterday. So it is what it is. Hey, it's better than a negative day. So and I know you didn't put Florida up on the site. I kind of talked you off of it too, but good end to the NHL season for you. Okposo is a Stanley Cup champion. Oh, captain, my captain, and that was cool to see because he was never winning one with Buffalo. So good end of the season, but yeah, now it's that's baseball.
Yep, it's baseball time. Head over to the chat, and then we will get into some baseball.
This guy named Steve Earle's in the chat saying, good morning. Good morning, Dad. How are you doing? Padres let me down. Finally, a cash cow loser. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. But, I mean, they're not running at 100%. I think it's 76, 77%.
They're hitting really well. Yeah.
So 1 out of every 4 is going to lose. Yo. What's up, Mr. Kryptonite? Perfect ending it to the NHL season. Panthers in the hard under. Yes, a 2-1 game is definitely a hard under. Clicking under all game. Morning. Good morning, Markel. Now let's head into baseball because I know there is one game on today's slate that I know is going to get a lot of attention, and we probably should have done a free pick video on it last night, but there's a Subway Series coming up today, so.
Yeah, which as a Mets guy, I'm not extremely confident on today. I think the better opportunities maybe tomorrow for that game. But let's get into this one, though. We have the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Cleveland Guardians. The Orioles are on $1.45 favorites, total of 9 in this game. This line opened up at an 8.5, got up to a 9. It's down to a 9, 8, up to a 9.5, down to a 9. And then we have the line opened up at a 130 here. It's down to a 140. It's up to a 143 for Baltimore. So we have a line move towards the over, and we have a move towards the Orioles there. What is that a cat outside or something?
I think that's a cat outside.
I'm wondering I thought that was a phone for a second.
No, I think that's a cat outside.
I don't know if you guys are hearing that at all, but it sounded like there was a freaking cat outside.
There was.
Sorry, that just threw me off. I don't get thrown off very often. I stumbled over my words there for a second, and I know I did. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. 58% of the tickets and 76% of the cash is on the under in this game. And this line opened up at an 8.5. It got all the way up to a 9.5. It's back down to the 9. But it still moved towards the over, though, which is interesting there. 79% of the tickets and 83% of the cash is on the Orioles, with the line moving towards Baltimore here. We have Logan Allen taking on Cole Irving. 2 pitchers I'm not huge fans of. Logan Allen's really struggled as of late. 5.92 ERA, a 1.56 whip, 5.92 strikeouts per 9, which is 15%, 5.18 walks per 9, a 261 BABIP, a 7.01 FIP, and a 5.63 SIERA. On the flip side, Cole Irving with a 3.95 ERA, a 1.50 whip, 7.57 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%, 2.3 walks per 9, a 337 BABIP, and a 4.13 FIP and a 4.45 SIERA. I think both these pitchers could get hit today. And then the bullpen advantage does go towards the Guardians as well as the hitting advantage because the Guardians are hitting 102 WRC plus, which is 17th against righties, compared to the Orioles, where they are smashing right-handed pitching, but against lefties as of late, 76 WRC plus, which is 25th. Now, is this a left-handed pitcher they can probably get to? I would say yeah. And after we saw that offense get limited to 2 runs yesterday, I think this could be a good spot for the offense to kind of wake up. The only way I can really look in this game is the over. That's my lean in this game at the moment is over 9. Not one I'm overly confident in, though. It's just a lean at the moment, but I would only look towards the over.
I definitely put I mean, you
know. Where is it playing? I'm not tapping. Alrighty then.
Cool.
So,
lots of noise distractions. I love
Lots
this
of
morning.
distractions today.
I'm on the Orioles every single day. Day 79. I know it's taken a hit. They've lost 4 in a row. They're going to lose games. They've lost 29 games this year. Granted, I'm still up 30, 33, almost 34 units on the Orioles this year. So I ride them every single game. So let's keep on going. Baltimore Orioles money line, run line. I got minus 140, plus 140. Let's keep riding with my Orioles. I even got the new hat, so we're good. Let's go, O's.
There you
go. Baby or cat? I think it was a cat. I think it was outside. Or is one of the windows open? I think one of the windows is open. Panthers won. Yes. I'm like that. Got to be a kid. I know about. It was definitely a cat outside something. There's the link to all the the Oriole tweets. So there you go. Mbappe to score a goal. Have fun. Morning, Twins. Good morning, Stephen Beer. Let's head to this one, Nick.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Detroit Tigers in this one here. Phillies only $1.25 favorites, total of 7.5 in this game. And why are the Phillies this small of favorites? Because it's, I believe, Scooby Snacks today. Tariq Skubal taking on Ranger Suarez. What a pitching matchup this one is. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where it opened up at a 115 for Phillies, now a 126. So we do have a move towards the Philadelphia Phillies in this game. Line opened up at a 7.5 minus 105. It's now a 7.5 minus 103. So we've had a 2-cent line movement towards the under. And we've had a move towards the Philadelphia Phillies. 82% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the Phillies. The line moving towards them. 97% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the over, with the line moving 2 cents towards the under, which tells me that this is probably a game where both Ranger Suarez and Tariq Skubal will shove. Now, both these offenses actually hit lefties pretty well this year. But let's get into it. Ranger Suarez, 2.73 ERA, 1.14 whip, 9.23 strikeouts per 9, which is 25%, 2.39 walks per 9, and 296 BABIP, but 2.99 FIP, and a 3.45 SIERA. On the flip side, Tariq Skubal, 3 ERA, 1.20 whip, 9.9 strikeouts per 9, which is 26%, 2.4 walks per 9, and 3.04 BABIP, but 3.88 FIP, and a 3.39 SIERA. Bullpen edge does go towards the fight and fills here and the hitting edge as well. They're hitting lefties really well. 125 WRC plus, which is 6th in baseball the last 30 days. On the flip side, the Tigers are 10th in baseball against lefties the last 30 days. 117 WRC plus. The line moving towards the under is interesting. I get it. These are two really good pitchers. I could see this game as the most obvious under on the board that goes over the total. That's why I'm kind of shocked that there is 97% of the tickets and 96% of the cash is on the over in this game. I lean Philly in this one here, and I think I lean over as well. I don't like the line movement though, in order to bet the over. But both these teams have the ability to hit left-handed pitching, and I could see both these pitchers not being vulnerable, but potentially could get hit here. So for me, it's a lean towards Philly in the over. I think Philly is the closest thing I am to pulling the trigger on anything in this game. I just want to sit with it a little bit more. I think the Phillies are probably the look here, which the best available line here for the Phillies, and it'd be full game rather than first 5 because the Detroit bullpen's not been very good at all. I'm seeing minus 125 on Bet365. I'm going to pull the trigger on them there. Philadelphia Phillies minus 125 here over on Bet365. I'm going to get my day started with Phillies here.
I think these are currently the AL and NL current favorites to win the Cy Young today.
Which means this game's going over the total.
I kind of like both of your plays in this one, the Phillies and the over. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on both. This one just has the feel of this game is so obviously an under that it's going to go over kind of deal. And I know we have those types of games, like we find those types of games a lot, where it's just kind of like you look at it and go, man, you could honestly say that for it to be like, hey, this is a spot where it could be the obvious under, but it's not. I'm trying to look up futures for because I wanted to see whether or not I was right, whether or not it is the two current Cy Young favorites. Words, if I can get there. Team futures. All right, I guess I can't. Oh, no, that's not it. Let me go full screen.
By the way, if you're interested, Tim, that if we're thinking Philly is an over, that Philly team total is a 3.5 at -130 over on Bet365. You could probably find a better number somewhere else. But I thought that was interesting that we can get the Phillies to score 4 runs for only -130 in this game.
Yeah, I can't find any.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for Cy Young race. I know it's under awards, so I just couldn't find.
It'd be player something.
Okay, I can't find it on DK. It is what it is. But I think these are two favorites to win Cy Young at the moment, and I'm going to back Ranger Suarez here at -125.
Yeah, regular season awards.
And I want to take the over too, Nick. Cool.
Yeah, Tariq Skubal is +200 to win the American League Cy Young, and the only one close to that is Corbin Burns at 275, and then you have Tanner Houck 8-1 and Garrett Crochet 9-1. And then on the flip side, the favorite in the National League is his teammate, Zach Wheeler. And then it's Ranger Suarez. Then it's Tyler Glasnow. Then it's Chris Sale. Then Max Fried. So those are all your ones that are 10-1 or lower there if you're looking for Cy Young futures.
There you go. Philly in the over. Let's run it. Under, no. Taking first 5 over 5 in Philly run line.
First 5 over? I could see that.
I could see that because I could easily see this game being 5-4 by the 4th inning, 5th inning. I could easily see both those guys getting hits today. So let's ride with that. I like it. I know you are kind of weird on the Seattle Mariners, and we're going to talk about them now.
They lost yesterday. I would have lost my play, though, because I would have taken the Rays early in that game for the first 5 type of play. And they choked late, the Seattle Mariners, which as somebody who is pro Astros and pro Astros to win the American League West, that was great to see last night. Let's get into it, though. We have Luis Castillo taking on Zach Littell, your pitching matchup here. This line opened up with the Mariners as -113 favorites. It immediately jumped up 2 minutes later to 128. And then we've seen this line drop to 118. So we've still seen a 5-cent line movement towards Seattle, but really it's dropped a little bit since about 3 minutes after the line was posted. The line opened up at a 7.5 at even money. It's now a 7.5 at -110. So we've had to move towards the over here as well. With 99% of tickets, 99% of the cash is on the over in this one here. 37% of tickets and 65% of the cash is on the Tampa Bay Rays, with the line, depending on what you like to look at with the line history, either moving slightly towards them or away from them. If you're looking at the exact line that it opened at, it's moved slightly towards the Seattle Mariners, but there's been buyback though, because this line got all the way up to 133 and has come back down to the Tampa Bay Rays. See, with this type of market, I would have thought the line would have moved towards the Mariners a little bit more. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here, where we have Luis Castillo and Zach Littell. Luis Castillo, 4.34 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 8.38 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 2.48 walks per nine, a 269 BABIP, a 401 FIP, and a 3.95 SIERA. On the flip side, Zach Littell has kind of struggled as of late, a 5.88 ERA, a 1.65 WHIP, 7.27 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%, 2.08 walks per nine, a 360 BABIP, a 5.34 FIP, and a 4.39 SIERA. Bullpen edge does go towards the Seattle Mariners, as well as the hitting edge, 104 WRC plus, which is 14th, compared to 100, which is 16th. And looking at this matchup here, the markets are pointing me towards Tampa in this game. The only thing is Zach Littell has kind of struggled as of late, and he can obviously turn it around. I think Zach Littell has some potential with these Tampa Bay Rays. And really, it was really actually just one bad start. He's been a consistent guy. He'll give you 5 to 6 innings and 2 to 3 earned runs. He's not somebody who's going to go shut it down. The one bad start he had was 6 earned runs on 8 hits in 2 innings against the Braves. That was his big problem there. It was really just one bad start, which has really jumped up his numbers. I have interest in Tampa Bay here, and I have interest in them early. Maybe a Tampa first 5 or something along those lines, which Tampa first 5. What is Tampa first 5? Plus 106 over on FanDuel. I'm going to move on that. I am not a Luis Castillo fan. He is somebody where I just think he's just a little bit of an overrated commodity. He has his moments. He is a good pitcher, but they have him priced as an elite pitcher, and I just don't think he is one. I would like to fade him, and I'm going to take the Rays first 5 here at plus 106 over on FanDuel.
And you know I lean with Seattle. Seattle's a very I will say I almost did the experiment this year with 3 different teams, with Baltimore, with Kansas City, and with Seattle. I think all of them would be quite profitable right now too, if I decided to do that. The only tricky spot would have been if they were playing each other, which would have ended up going to not betting any of them. Which, according to covers, Baltimore would be number 5, Kansas City is number 8, and Seattle would be number 9. And then, yeah. So those would have all been profitable teams to do it with, but I like Seattle. I like the Seattle team. I like Castillo. I know I've had Cy Young futures on him, although he has gotten hit a little bit lately. They're against Kansas City and Cleveland, who's had really solid offensive performances lately. So not really a bad thing for him to struggle against teams like that. Tampa Bay is definitely not one of those teams. Tampa Bay is also playing a little bit better at baseball lately, winning 5 out of 6. But I would lean towards Seattle on this one. Is it enough for me to get to it? No. But it would be a lean towards the Mariners for me.
Sure. Tampa Bay first 5 plus 106 FanDuel.
That Padres extra inning was the biggest meltdown I have ever seen in pitching. But more importantly, how did management keep that guy in? Honestly, I didn't even watch that. We watched the Cup last night, and that's about all the sports we watched. So I did not get to see that game. So Tampa, Tim, I remember you're a big Woo fan. Yes,
he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt though. So he and it's at hamstring, so he's probably going to be out for a little while, which is unfortunate because I know I have futures on Seattle to win the division, which are slowly falling apart because Houston's all of a sudden waking up. But
they're still up 5.5 games. You're fine.
Yeah, okay. But yes, I'm a Woo fan. Nerfy, I could see a Nerfy. It's official that the Blue Jays and the Cubs are the most pathetic teams in the MLB. Blue Jays, I'll agree with. Tampa's heating up. Yep. If you were to bet the underdog in every game, would you be profitable?
Today or in general?
In general.
Probably not.
Here, let's go. I can find that out for you.
Yeah. I don't think you can only bet overs or only bet unders or only bet dogs or only bet favorites and be profitable.
So far this year, according to covers, dogs are 480 and 685, which is 41.2%. So you would need an average line of plus 140 for that to be profitable. Is that about right? Plus 140?
Yeah, and there's not that many. I don't know.
Something like that.
I'd be interested if anybody has that information.
But if you let's see. And I will say, if you wanted to cut it down a little bit. Home dogs are about 42%. Away dogs are 40%. But I have a feeling away dogs would probably be more profitable just because you're getting a little bit bigger lines. But according to that, but I will say if you're taking dogs on the plus 1.5, those are hitting at 58.9% for away dogs, 54.6% for home dogs, and 57.4% overall. But those are probably some big lines. So figure I'd throw that one out there. I'm a Jays fan, and my Jays are pathetic, embarrassing to watch right now.
Yeah, the Jays are bad.
It's such a shame.
And the ultimate question with the Jays is how are they going to approach this trade deadline? Are they just going to sell off players with expiring contracts or stuff like that? Or are they going to go all the way and trade Bo Bichette and Vladdy Jr. and just completely tear this apart?
I think they should completely tear it apart. That's just me.
Yeah, because right now I think really what they're missing is just like that middle of the lineup bat right now. I think is what they're a couple of them. Like if they could have gone out and got someone like a Teoscar Hernandez or a Gabriel Moreno or something like that in the offseason, I think this lineup would have looked way better right now. Yes, I know what I did. I'm aware of what I did.
All right, let's move on to the next game before we piss somebody off.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Pirates and Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are on minus 120 favorites. Total of 8.5 in this game. I doubled up on the overs on this game last night, and they both came through really easily. The only thing I kind of regret from that game, though, is you just fade the Pirates after Scene's pitches. Bailey Falter, I think, has lost basically every game he's pitched this year for Pittsburgh. Yes. So Cincinnati should have been a play for me last night as well. But with that being said, this line opened up at a 120. It's now to a 128 for Cincinnati. This line opened up at an 8.5, got down to an 8, back up to an 8.5, and now it's up to a 9. So we do have a move towards the over in this game again, and we have a move towards the Cincinnati Reds. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot here. See if we have 86% of the tickets and 83% of the cash is on the Reds, or on the over in this game, with the line moving towards the over. So that checks out there. And 80% of the tickets and 89% of the cash is on the Reds, with the line moving towards Cincinnati. We have Hunter Green taking on Mitch Keller in this one here. Keller has been awesome. 1.71 ERA, 1.04 whip, 8.81 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%, 1.42 walks per nine, and 292 BABIP, but 2.77 FIP, and a 3.52 SIERA. On the flip side, Hunter Green, 3.6 ERA, 1.03 whip, 9.6 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 3.9 walks per nine, a 200 BABIP, a 4.54 FIP, and a 4.04 SIERA. Bullpen edge does go towards the Cincinnati Reds, as well as the hitting edge, 99 WRC+, which is 18th, compared to 79, which is 25th. I have a slight lean towards Cincinnati in this game. I don't want to lay this big of it's not a huge number. It's minus 128. It's not a huge number, but I lean in that direction. I just don't feel the need to get involved with it here. So it would be Reds or nothing for me, and that's about it, and it's a pass.
Yeah, these are two teams that are just kind of mediocre. I don't feel like I'm getting a really good price on either one of these teams. I do say I did like Mitch Keller coming into the year. He's pitched pretty solid as of late. His last 10 starts, he's only allowed 4 earned runs or more in 2 starts. And the Pirates have actually won 7 out of his last 8 starts. So they've been playing better with him pitching. Hunter Green was another guy that coming into the year, I did not like the Reds, but I thought Hunter Green would be good. Hunter Green's been about the same as Mitch Keller. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 2 out of his last 10 starts, which is not bad. But the Reds just don't have the same success. They're 5-5 in his last 10 starts that he pitches. It would be a lean towards Pittsburgh for me. But when it comes to teams like this, I just really have a hard time getting involved in wanting to go and picking one of these teams. It's like the AL Central. NL Central has been a little bit worse. It has been about probably close to the same for me. Those Central teams are just, they're all in a bunch, and it's just kind of coin flips, and I have not been getting the coin flips right. So I lean Pittsburgh, but not enough for me to want to get to it.
Fair.
Honestly, guys, Guerrero and Bichette are seasoned players only, not going to lie.
They can get decent returns from them too.
They could. Jays need to remove the management, and Bo and Vladdy are a part of that. Morning, gentlemen. Twins are back in town. Yep, untouchable. We're back. Let's get it. This seems like an under because pitchers sold. Is it a trap? These are two solid pitchers. I could see an under in this game. I could.
These are two decent. Yeah, these are two decent pitchers.
Panthers and Bears. Never in doubt last night. What an ending to the hockey season.
Yeah.
Bears?
Hershey Bears.
Oh, okay. That was crazy that the Calder and the Stanley Cup were won on the same night.
And that's back-to-back seasons the Hershey Bears have won the Calder Cup.
Oh, okay. There you go. What's up, fellas? I see a Nerfy in this game. I could see a Nerfy. Scored a sweet plus 750 on the under. Draisaitl point. Barchard under points.
Barchard. Under on. Wow. Yeah. I was looking at that team total under for Edmonton.
There you go. Let's keep running through the games. And I will tell you, I'm not interested in this one, although I want to bet Boston. I just don't bet Blue Jay games.
Yeah. Toronto Blue Jays at the Boston Red Sox. Kevin Gausman, Brian Bayo, your pitching matchup here. We're just talking about this Toronto Blue Jays team. Now let's get into them here. Where they are, they're dogs in this game. This line opened up at a 125. It's down to a 118 now for the Red Sox. We do have a line move towards the Blue Jays in this game. Line opening up at an 8.5. It's up to a 9, suggesting that Gausman gets hit, and so does Bayo. 84% of tickets and 89% of the cash is on these Boston are on the over, with the line moving towards the over, and 81% of tickets and 87% of the cash is on the Boston Red Sox, with the line moving towards these Toronto Blue Jays. Taking a look at the pitching matchup here, Gausman and Bayo. Gausman 3.90 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 7.24 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%, 1.67 strikeouts per nine, which is and then walks per nine. 247 BABIP, a 4.51 FIP, and a 4.02 Sierra. On the flip side, Brian Bayo, 6.08 ERA, 1.80 WHIP, 8.44 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%, 4.39 walks per nine, a 388 BABIP, a 4.16 FIP, and a 4.15 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards these Boston Red Sox, as well as a heading edge, 115 WRC plus, which is 8th, compared to 102, which is 15th. As much as we were just ripping them, I'm interested in Toronto here early. I don't trust them for the full game. I want to isolate Gausman versus Bayo. Is kind of the way I was looking at this game and taking them first 5 with the Blue Jays because I don't trust them full game. They've lost 7 in a row. The market is moving towards them, which is interesting there. And for the first 5 on ESPN Bet, I can get even money. Same thing with BetMGM. I am not a fan of this Blue Jays team whatsoever. I'm going to isolate them just to the first 5, though. I want Gausman versus Bayo. That's the only thing I want to isolate here. And I will take the Blue Jays in the first 5 at even money.
Yeah, it's a Blue Jays game. I barely bet Blue Jays games, and I'll tell you the ones I bet were when Alek Manoah pitched. I faded the Blue Jays, which worked out nicely. And I faded them when they played the Orioles, and I'm going to bet them when they play the Marlins. That's about it. I have zero reason to want to go after the Blue Jays. They're 2-8 their last 10. Sure, Gausman's been solid, but I really like Brian Bayo, who, I mean, he's been getting hit a little bit late, but beginning of the year, he was a little bit of a moneymaker for us. He is coming off of a decent performance against Toronto in his last start, where he went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, 7 hits. So not a bad start there and a 7-3 win. I could see Boston winning again here. But because the Toronto Blue Jays are involved in this game, I made a vow to not bet the Blue Jay games unless there's a very good reason to. There's not a good reason to today.
Yeah, the line moved on ESPN Bet to -105 now, so I'm going to shift over to. I'm still getting the -105, but I'm going to shift over to Bovada for this one. Blue Jays first 5, -105. Bovada.
Forgot to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on the Oilers season?
I think it was a success. You still have another year of the core. Stuart Skinner developed into somebody you can trust because he had a really good postseason. I know a lot of people like to shit on him. And I have no ill will towards the Edmonton Oilers. You guys saw it throughout the playoffs. I backed them against the Kings. I backed them against the Canucks. I backed them against the Stars. They just ran into the best team in hockey. That's what they ran into. This will not be the last time McDavid makes a Stanley Cup final. I think they can win the West next year. I think come before the season starts next season, I'll have Oilers Western Conference. I'll have Oilers Stanley Cup futures. Pending any major changes, because I think Draisaitl has one more year left on his contract, and reports are saying he does not have any intent to resign with the Oilers. So that's something interesting there. About resigning, I just saw a notification. A couple of resignings. Dylan DeMello, 4 years, $4.9 million AAV with the Winnipeg Jets, and signing an extension with the Colorado Avalanche is Casey Middlestad. 3-year deal.
You expected
3 year, and I think they're expecting around $5 million per year, something along those lines. So
right.
Middlestad getting an extension there in Colorado as well.
Yeah, but no, Oilers can't be mad with the season, and they came back from 3-0 to force a game of 7. That was fantastic.
Impressive. Yeah.
The only thing I like to bet with Jays is the Nerfies.
Yeah, the Jays have been one of the worst teams at scoring in the first inning.
As much as I can't stand the Blue Jays, they always seem to hit the ball in Wrigley. Well, they're not playing in Wrigley. They're playing in Fenway. Oh, you fixed it. Never mind. You're good. I see it now. You're good. Fading my Jays. Take the Sox. You'll be profitable. I want to, but whenever I bet the Jays, they lose. Whenever I bet against them, they win. I really like Bobrovsky. He should have won the Smythe. Just my opinion. I didn't really see a Panther forward or defense really stand out. No, you didn't see that at all. And McDavid was low-hanging fruit. You would get in a video game scenario. Most points was automatic. And because if it ended in a sweep, it was Bobrovsky and it wasn't close. But because it went 7, I believe Barshev should have won Conn Smythe. Barkov. He shut down everyone except McDavid for those 3 games, and I'm pretty sure he was injured. I can't wait to see the injury report come out for the 2 teams. As messed up as that sounds, but we get to see what everybody was playing with. Gretzky got his playoff record in 18 games, while McDavid got his points record in 26. People need that context when it comes off. Yes, exactly. McDavid winning the Conn Smythe and getting booed felt bad for him. Did he even go out to get the trophy?
No.
Didn't think he did.
I mean, you can't at that point. You're the captain of your team, and you can't leave the ice to go accept an award when your team just lost in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Leon has to re-sign this offseason. McDavid is next year. Leon is going to ask for north of $13 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
I'm glad that my Blues are still the only team to come from dead last to championship.
Yeah, I think people hype up the Blues year a little bit too much like that, though, because I believe by the All-Star break, they were in a playoff spot.
No, he did not go. We did not see him come out to go get his award. So, all right, Nick, I guess we got to talk about this game.
This is an interesting one. We have the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. If you told me 3 weeks ago this matchup, I would have said the Yankees easy. And I mean, the line opened up at a 143, and it's down to a 138. So we've had a move towards the New York Mets in this game. Line opened up at an 8.5 at even money. Oh, my bad, an 8 at even money. Went up to an 8.5, up to a 9, and back down to an 8.5. So we have had a move towards the over in this game, and a move towards the Mets, suggesting that Garrett Cole could be a little vulnerable in this game. And we saw him not have a terrible start against the Orioles, but he didn't win. 91% of the tickets, 92% of the cash is on the over. 83% of the tickets and 80% of the cash on the Yankees, with the line moving towards the New York Mets. So it looks like sharp money coming in on the Mets here in this game. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. Garrett Cole and David Peterson. I don't think these two have pitched much. I think this is David Peterson's 3rd start back from the IL. 4th. He pitched On June 17th, his last start, he gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 6 innings pitched against the Rangers. They won that game 4-2. They've won his last 3 starts. They've played the Nationals, the Marlins, and the Rangers, but they've won his last 3 starts. 3.97 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 4.76 strikeouts per nine, which is 12%, 3.18 walks per nine, a 297 BABIP, a 4.56 FIP, and a 4.88 SIERA. He's not been great. But Garrett Cole on the opposite side, he's pitched 1 game so far. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts in 4 innings pitched. He only threw 62 pitches in that game. They were really babying him back into the starting rotation, and I wouldn't be surprised if he only goes 80 pitches, Garrett Cole, and then they hand the ball, then they hand it off to the bullpen here. And when I looked at this matchup, you give me the first 5 with Garrett Cole. I'm interested in the Yankees early in this game. When I'm looking to, the only thing is I'm priced out of it, and the line's moved against them. And for the first 5 as well, it opened up at a 145. It's down to a 140 for the Yankees, which tells me the Mets are live in this game. And with the way the markets are moving, tells me that the Mets are live in this game because the public's on the Yankees with the line moving towards the Mets. My one problem is I have to trust David Peterson, which I think both these pitchers go 4 or 5 innings, and the bullpen edge goes towards the Mets in this game, and the hitting edge goes towards the Mets in this game. 111 WRC plus, which is 11th versus righties for the Mets, compared to the Yankees, who are about league average against lefties, 99 WRC plus, which is 18th. So an interesting matchup here. I guess, I mean, I would lean maybe towards a little Mets action here. On the money line, just not one I'm overly excited to go after, and I don't feel the need to go after. It's Mets or pass, but I'm passing here.
Here's the deal, and I don't think I've ever bet a Subway Series game. I know when it comes to betting on sports, it is a business thing. It is a profession. So you gotta be able to do some things. It's either I would bet the Mets or I wouldn't bet this game in general, because I know I'm supposed to be a little bit harder, but I can never. There's certain matchups that I can never take, like the Yankees against the Mets. It wouldn't feel right in my soul to do that, because obviously we grew up Mets fans. From our first game was when we were like a year old. So we grew up Mets fans in New York, and I could physically never put money against the Mets with either the Yankees, the Phillies, or the Braves. I can never do that. So when it comes to it, this will be a game I watch tonight. I will have 0 money on any Subway Series game, and it's that way with a couple other teams. Like I'll never bet Duke against Carolina, and I'll never bet like the Patriots against the Jets. It's just there's very few matchups, but this is one of them that I rather choose to not bet it than to try to really like bet the game. If I was going after anything in this game, I do kind of lean towards the over. This is Garrett Cole's second start back of the year, and Peterson is coming off of he's coming off of a decent start. Oh yeah, he was part of the 14-2 win. Peterson's been solid this year, but I could easily see the Yankees getting to him a little bit. And the Mets offense has actually been clicking on all cylinders. If you're going to go after anything in this game, here you go. There's one player on the Mets that hits like 330 lifetime against the Yankees with 10 home runs and 22 RBIs and a 945 OPS. His name is Francisco Lindor. So if you want to take any player props, let me look at Lindor props. Let's go RBIs. Let's go total bases. Over 1.5 total bases is plus 115, and RBI is plus 1. I could see some 200s, 195, 200s. So if I'm going after anything in this game, it's something involving Frankie Lindor.
Yeah, I can see that.
Who's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball over the last little while. Subway Series. Yes, the Subway Series. Over in the WNBA game, I'm just taking the Lynx. Bronx Bombers first 5. I'm on Cole under 5.5 strikeouts at plus money.
I could see that.
I could.
Mets don't strike out very often.
Going to try again with the early nerfy with Baltimore and Detroit. Good luck. Judge home runs seems like a square play, but I could see it. Honestly,
Judge and Lindor.
I was about to say if I'm going after anything on the Yankee side, it's future Met Juan Soto. So, I'm joking. It's not future Met, but Lindor 2 bases. Yes, I could see Lindor having a good 2-game series here. Marte also has good numbers against the Yankees. I'll figure out that.
He had a walk-off last year against them.
Yes. But let's keep on rolling, Nick. And speaking about one of the hottest hitters in baseball, we get the St. Louis Cardinals and Alec Burleson.
Yeah, this was a fun game yesterday. I took a little Cardinals action, and they came through for me yesterday. Let's get into this one here: the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. We have Kyle Gibson taking on Ronaldo Lopez. The line opened up at a 130. It's up to a 133 for Atlanta. So we do have a move towards these Bravos here. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 105. It's down 8.5 minus 110. So we've had a slight move towards the over here in this spot as well. Let's get into the line or the cash flow with 74% of tickets, 92% of the cash on the Braves, and the line moving towards them. 89% of the tickets and 88% of the cash is on the over, and the line moving towards the over as well. We have Ronaldo Lopez and Kyle Gibson. Lopez 1.63 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 10.41 strikeouts per 9, which is 29%, 1.95 walks per 9, a 3.10 BABIP, a 2.42 FIP, and a 3.12 SIERA. On the flip side, Kyle Gibson 2.55 ERA, 1.01 WHIP, 9.85 strikeouts per 9, which is 28%, 2.92 walks per 9, a 2.37 BABIP, a 3.51 FIP, and a 3.40 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes actually towards the Braves slightly. Nothing crazy, though. It's kind of a toss-up. And then the hitting edge does go towards the St. Louis Cardinals, 118 WRC+, which is number 5 in baseball versus righties the last 30 days, compared to the Braves, who are 23rd with a 82 WRC+. So kind of an interesting dynamic there. And looking at this spot for me, I'm leaning, I guess, Braves. This is a game that I really don't have too much interest in. And I think the Braves are going to be a little bit of a bet-on team in the second half. As I mentioned, I'll probably end up grabbing some probably during the All-Star break, but that's still a few weeks away. I need to dive a little bit deeper into it. I think something I'm going to grab in the All-Star break is the Atlanta Braves to win the division. I still think that they are very live because Philly, after the All-Star break, is when they actually have to start playing real teams. Instead of just a bunch of mediocre teams and bad teams. So we'll see. We'll see how Philly reacts to a real schedule after the All-Star break, which is kind of where I'm circling to back the Braves to win this division. But with this game here, not one I have particularly too much interest in.
I mean, I would lean Cardinals, but the big thing I want to go after again. Why am I not going after Alec Burleson? I mentioned yesterday, I said take his total bases, over 1.5 bases, over 1.5 hits, and an RBI and a home run. He got 3 out of 4. He didn't hit a home run. But he was fantastic in a win there. He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. And I'm going right back to him. Alec Burleson, over 1.5 total bases at plus 120. Over 1.5 hits. I can't find 1.5 hits. I can only find half a hit. So I'm not going to do that today. RBI is around $2, and a home run is 7-1. So let's jump on. Those will be 2-player props that I'm going to go after is Alec Burleson and Francisco Lindor. And I'm going to make separate tweets for them.
I like it.
Back to the chat, Nick, while I quickly do that.
Where do you leave off?
I see 2.
Under for Lynx and Liberty game?
I'm just taking the Lynx. I really didn't look at a total for it.
Fair. Nerfy, first 5 under and full game under. I can see it. Fernandez saying, morning, I'm new here. I like and subscribe. I like the under and the Braves here. Appreciate it. We'll move on to the next matchup here. One I was kind of surprised with yesterday that the James Paxton just went and shoved the way he did. I was actually kind of surprised. But let's get into this one here. Chris Flexen and Bobby Miller, your pitching matchup here. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have this line opening up with the Dodgers as minus 185 favorites. It's up to a 208 now. Line opening up at a 9 at minus 105. It's now a 9 at minus 123. So we'll move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot where we have, no surprise, the public on the Dodgers, 92% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on said Dodgers, 61% of the tickets, 66% of the cash on the over, and the line moving towards said over in this game. We have Bobby Miller and Chris Flexen. Bobby Miller, I don't think has pitched much because I see he has an ERA at 7.11, which let's take a look here what that is all about, because I think he just came back. No. Yeah, he just came back from an injury. He pitched 3 times in the beginning of the year, and he's pitched 1 time after his injury, and they got him started right back up in Coors Field. Gave up 5 earned runs on 6 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 6 1/3 against the Colorado Rockies. They lost that game 7-6. On the flip side, Chris Flexen's been one of the better pitchers for the White Sox, but that doesn't really say much. 4.34 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, 7.14 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%, 4.34 walks per 9, a 286 BABIP, a 4.8 FIP, and a 5.16 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Dodgers as well as the hitting edge here in this one. But you guys already know where I'm going for this game. So I'm going to be going ahead and just shopping around, trying to find the best number beyond the White Sox here, full game.
Yeah, good. I found the GIF of him against the Yankees. Anyways, no, I'm not going after this one. I fell for the trap again yesterday. No, I'm not bothering with fading the Dodgers. Good luck to you with it. I feel no need to get to it. This is a very expensive line for the Dodgers, and the White Sox can kick rocks. So this is a no thank you game for me. I have a decent amount of action today, so I'm going to be cool with this. So not really too crazy with this game.
Fair.
Fernando, do you have any soccer plays? Hello, Brazil was easy money last night. Wasn't Brazil like a minus 1,400 favorite? Let's jump into this one, Nick.
Yeah, and you guys already know where we're going for this one here, but let me place my bet here. Plus 190 FanDuel. Chicago White Sox money line. All right. We have the Kansas City Royals and the Miami Marlins. We have the Royals minus 195 favorites with a total of 9.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this game where we have Seth Lugo and Yanni Chirinos. Line opened up at a 200 down to a 195. Line opened up at a 9.5 at minus 110. It's a 9.5 at minus 117. So we have a move towards the over, and we have a slight move towards the Marlins with 93% of the tickets, 93% of the cash on the Royals, and the line moving slightly the other way. And then we have 58% of the tickets and 61% of the cash is on the under in this game as well, with the line moving towards the over in this one. Kind of surprising with a bit more money, more tickets, more bets on the under with the line moving towards the over in this game. But once again, I'm going to shop around, find the best number, see if this is a -1 or a -1.5. It's probably a -1.5. I will be on the Kansas City Royals here.
Yeah, I already put them up. I was able to get them at plus 106 for the run line. Lugo has been fantastic. And I think you can make an argument for him to possibly try to start the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Him or Luis Gil. Those are the only 2 options I can, or Scooble. But I would go Lugo. He's the only pitcher in the American League right now to have at least 100 innings pitched already. He's been a workhorse. Oh, forgot to mention, it's Miami Marlins. We fade them every game. This is the 79th game that we faded them this year. I know it has not. It worked out yesterday. Now, I will say, when we do these trends, like fading the Marlins and me backing the Orioles, I do not expect to win every game. I do expect to lose a couple in a row sometimes. It's going to happen. So I do expect to lose some. I think the Royals are the play today again. I would fade in the Marlins. So I'm on the Royals. I got the run line at plus 106.
Yep. I got plus 104.
Fading Dodgers.
Correct.
Brazil ended 0-0, had under 3.5. I wasn't paying attention. I thought they were just big favorites. Got it. Cool. Marlins, Nerfy, and whoever they play. A money line. You know what? Run line. There you go. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about them. Brazil last night. I had them -1.5. Check my head. I got France, Netherlands, and Argentina today. Good luck. We got 5 games left.
Yeah. And I think this one plays into one of our systems, Tim.
Oh, no. Is it actually a cash cow?
Line opened up at a 245. It's up to a 280. Now, for this to be a cash cow, it needs to stay below 280. Or 280 is the highest it can go. But it has moved up towards the Astros here. Line opened up at an 8.5. It's down to an 8. So we have a move towards the under, and we have a move towards the Astros here. Big one. 95% of tickets, 96% of the cash is on these Houston Astros, with the line moving towards them here. 82% of the tickets, 88% of the cash on the over here as well. We have Hunter Brown taking on Austin Gomber. Gomber has been dreadful this year. A 9.68 ERA, 1.92 whip the last 30 days, 5.6 walks per 9, a 13%, or strikeouts per 9, which is 13%. 3.57 walks per 9, and 361 BABIP, a 6.77 FIP, and a 5.42 SIERA. His counterpart will be Hunter Brown, who has turned things around here. 1.45 ERA, 0.9 whip the last 30 days. 11.3 strikeouts per 9, which is 32%. 1.45 walks per 9, a 282 BABIP, a 2.63 FIP, and a 2.44 SIERA. Bullpen advantage going towards the Astros. Hitting edge actually goes towards the Rockies, but I see the Astros being able to get to Gomber in this game here. And over the last few starts, he has given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of 6 for for Hunter Brown. He has been absolutely dominant. And there is a decent difference between home Hunter Brown and road Hunter Brown. Now, keep this in mind, this is the full season where he struggled in the beginning of the season. But his ERA at home is 3.92 compared to 5.87 on the road. So this is a cash cow spot for me. I will be on the Houston Astros run line. I'm getting, I think, -125 over on Fanatics. I will be on Houston here. Ooh, there we go. -125 on the run line.
Yeah, cash cows have been just 31-9 official run line record for cash cows. That's according to George Torrance. And let's keep riding them. As much as I do not like the Astros and I do not like Hunter Brown this year, I keep on riding the cash cow spots. It's within the line. It's over the total. Money moving away towards the Astros. Line moving towards the Astros. Cash cow. Not really much to really jump into this one.
Fair. Yeah.
Weather in Kansas City calling for rain. I like the under. Don't hate it. Gomber Day. Nope. It's not very smart to bet soccer as a 3-way money line. Most games end in draws, so you're picking your side and laying the juice as a double result. Yeah, with a combination that could end in a draw. Some of those are kind of crazy. Some of those lines are kind of crazy. So, 4 games left.
Yeah, we have the Texas Rangers and the Milwaukee Brewers cashed with the Brewers last night. And that was just one of those games where everything made sense to me, and I had to force myself to pull the trigger on the Brewers. And we have a matchup here between Bryce Wilson and Andrew Heaney, which not 2 pitchers I'm overly excited about, but let's get into the line history in this one, where we have it opened up with the Brewers as -120 favorites. It's down to a 109. I'd probably look to flip and go the other way today a little bit. Line opened up at an 8.5 at -115. It's now up to a 9 at -115. So moving that, Bryce Wilson is vulnerable in this game, which I can see that a little bit. 79% of the tickets and 88% of the cash is coming in on the Milwaukee Brewers, and the line's moving towards the Texas Rangers. I am very interested in Texas in this game. Probably a first 5 rather than the full game, because I do not trust this Texas Rangers bullpen. We saw it yesterday why we shouldn't be able to trust this Texas Rangers bullpen. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup, though. Wrong game. Bryce Wilson and Andrew Heaney. Wilson, a 6.14 ERA, 1.50 whip last 30 days, 7.36 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%, 3.07 walks per 9, a 308 BABIP, a 5.39 FIP, and a 4.34 SIERA. On the flip side, Andrew Heaney, a 3.28 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 9.49 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.55 walks per nine, a 277 BABIP, a 3.47 FIP, and a 3.51 SIERA. Bullpen edge does go towards Milwaukee, as well as the hitting edge, 80 WRC plus, which is 23rd, compared to the Texas Rangers, who are dead last versus right-handed pitching, 68 WRC plus, which is 30th the last 30 days. So between the way that the Rangers are hitting righties right now, I do not want 9 innings of that. And the bullpen as well. I would only look first 5 here with the Texas Rangers. I want to take a look what this market has done in the first 5 because I see a pitching edge with Andrew Heaney, and so does the market here. The line's gone from even money to minus 110 for the first 5 with the Texas Rangers in this spot. I'm going to move on the Rangers early here. Rangers first 5 for me in this game, which I'm going to shop around, try to find the best number. But Rangers first 5 for me here.
I was looking Rangers yesterday. And I'm happy I ended up staying off the game because that looked like a really questionable spot with the travel, with the Brewers and all that. But today, at a pick'em, I don't really see as much value on going and looking towards Texas. I know Andrew Heaney's been a little bit better as of late, although 3-3-3 in his last 3 starts, which is not terrible. The thing is, Texas isn't really winning his starts. Well, Texas is struggling in general. And this is a Brewers team that I do like. You know I'm high on this Brewers team. I have futures on them. They're now 13 games over 500. And they're
a good baseball team.
They're running away with the NL Central. I have their ticket to win the NL Central, too, and the World Series. So this is a Brewers team that I'm quite high on. At a pick-em price, it's Brewers or nothing for me. But I may end up getting to Milwaukee. Not 100% sure.
Yeah. Texas Rangers first 5 minus 110 over on Bet365.
You want to head to a 1-800-GAMBLER game?
This one was a fun one that I was kind of looking into a little bit last night for a potential video, which after the Cup game, I just decided not to do one. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna start getting into baseball videos every night though. We have the Oakland A's and the LA Angels in this one here. We have Mitch Spence taking on Tyler Anderson for the pitching matchup. Line opened up at a 140 for the Angels. It's down to a 123. So we've had a decent move towards these Oakland Athletics. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 110. It's now an 8.5 minus 105. So move towards the under here as well. We have 72% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is coming in on these over and this one, and as well as 13% of the tickets, 32% of the cash coming in on Oakland. So we have 87% of the tickets, 68% of the cash on the opposite side with the LA Angels. Mitch Spence, your pitch against Tyler Anderson. Spence, 3.6 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 6 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 1.2 walks per nine, a 297 BABIP, a 3.51 FIP, and a 4.20 SIERA. On the flip side, Tyler Anderson with a 2.40 ERA, 1.43 WHIP, 5.7 strikeouts per nine, which is 15%, 5.4 walks per nine, a 256 BABIP, a 508 FIP, and a 5.84 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Oakland A's as well as the hitting edge. Against left-handed pitching, the Oakland A's are turning to cover off the ball lately. 126 WRC plus, which is 5th in baseball, compared to the LA Angels against righties, which is 77 WRC plus, which is 27th. So I see a good hitting edge here with these Oakland A's as well. And I'm interested in backing Oakland in this spot. The markets are pointing towards Oakland. They have the pitching edge. They have the bullpen edge. They have the hitting edge here. And I get it. It's a 1-800-GAMBLER game. But I am going to bet the Oakland A's in this game. And I'm getting plus 110 for them over on Bet365.
Yeah, I called it a 1-800-GAMBLER game for a reason. And it's because I'm not touching it. There is no reason for me to want to go after this game. These are two teams that are just really, really rough. Two pitchers that I do not trust. And no, I'm not. You could have fun going after these types of games. Unless I find a real reason to go after it, I'm not going to. So, you have fun with this one. I'll bet the next game with you though.
Oakland Athletics plus 110 at 365.
Have fun. 2 games left. Let's keep rolling.
San Diego Padres and the Washington Nationals. The next one here, with it being a pick'em, total of 7.5. crazy the difference in the lines between last night and tonight, where the Padres were $2 favorites now to pick them. Amazing what the pitching matchup can do. We have Adam Mazur taking on Mackenzie Gore, your pitching matchup. And I think there was a pitching change in this one because it opened up with the Padres at -150, and it reopened up with them at -110. And since then, it has moved towards the Nationals. The Nationals are now the betting favorites in this game. Line opened up at an 8, and it's down to a 7.5. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Nationals, suggesting that Mackenzie Gore pitches well in this game. 99% of tickets, 99% of cash is on the over in this game, as well as 74% of tickets and 55% of the cash is on the San Diego Padres, and the line moving towards the Washington Nationals. So sharp money coming in on Washington in this game here. We have Adam Mazur and Mackenzie Gore, and this is why the line's moved as much as it has. It was supposed to be Yu Darvish, and it's Adam Mazur. Which I have to get Mazur's stats up for this game real quick. Adam Mazur. I hope I spelled that right.
Mazur.
Yeah, I did. And he's not been particularly great. Mackenzie Gore, 3.74 ERA, 1.40 whip, 11.76 strikeouts per nine, which is 30%. So maybe a strikeout prop with him. 2.41 walks per nine, a 3.96 BABIP, but a 2.37 FIP and a 3.05 CR. Very promising advanced numbers there for Mackenzie Gore. On the opposite side, Adam Mazur, 7.27 ERA, 1.96 whip. He's gotten lit up in his few starts. He didn't pitch particularly well in the PCL before getting called up, but nobody pitches well in the PCL. Apparently other than Reed Detmers, and they still won't let him come back up. 5.71 strikeouts per nine, which is 13%, 8.31 walks per nine, a 2.96 BABIP, a 6.14 FIP, and a 6.91 CR. Bullpen edge does go towards San Diego, as well as the hitting edge going towards San Diego as well. 111 WRC plus, which is 12th against lefties compared to 97, which is 19th. If I'm betting the Washington Nationals this game, I am isolating this to just the first 5. I want nothing to do with the bullpens in this game. It would be Nationals first 5, which the books are well ahead of me on this one here. The Nationals are -145 in the first 5 innings. So it is Nationals or nothing for me. I don't trust them full game. So this is end up going to just be a pass for me. But the only way I can look at this one is the Nationals.
Well, this one's going to end up being the 5th play for the site because I like the Nationals. Mackenzie Gore revenge spot. He got drafted by the he got drafted and he was traded over in the Juan Soto trade. I don't know if I think he might have faced him once before. But this is I like Mackenzie Gore. He's been very solid this year. He's been one of the more dependable pitchers for this national staff, besides Trevor Williams, who's been fantastic.
And Mitchell Parker.
And Mitchell Parker's been great too. This national team's been getting good pitching. But this is a Padres team that's now starting to kind of put themselves in. I believe they're in a wild card spot right now. So that's kind of interesting. But I like the Nationals in this spot. I think they're favorites for a reason, even all the way across the country. Give me Mackenzie Gore in this one with the Washington Nationals. Money line at -114.
You know, this game screams out Nats first 5. Just the books have gotten way in front of me on that one, with it being a -140, -145 in the first 5 compared to -115 for the full game. So the books are kind of showing their hands here that the Nationals are way more alive early in this game than they are late.
That's fine.
Yeah. So if I had to bet anything in this game, I'd be laying the $1.40 in the first 5 innings. Which I just think is a little expensive at the moment. So it's no play.
All right, back to chat, and then we'll finish up the slate.
How many is it showing for you?
3.
Nerfy and Nats money line. My boy Mackey revenge game. Yeah. Nerfy. Nats are good. Padres bullpen spent, and Nationals nearly didn't use anyone last night. That's an interesting look. If we think that the bullpens are kind of neutralized after last night, then yeah, Nationals full game could be a look, and that may be something I get involved with. Because I didn't even think about the usage last night that the Nationals had. They're -115 for the full game. That's kind of crazy. In this one, yeah, it's Nationals or nothing for me, but I'm not betting it. Minus 130 for first 5. Good. I mean, yeah, if you can find it. The best I was able to find was $1.40 on Bet365. So
there you go.
We'll move on to the final game of the night. We don't have a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, which is probably a bullpen game or an opener of some sort. We just don't have a line for it. So this is the last game we're going over. The Minnesota Twins and the Arizona Diamondbacks with Joe Ryan and Brandon Pfaadt. Line opened up at a 110. It's up to a 122 for the Minnesota Twins now. Line opened up at an 8.5, went down to an 8, down to a 7.5, back up to an 8. So we've had a move from 8 to 8.5 down to an 8, and we've had a move towards the Minnesota Twins with 74% of the tickets, 63% of cash coming in on mini haha here, and 99% of the tickets and 99% of the cash on the over in this spot. We have Joe Ryan and Brandon Pfaadt. Joe Ryan at 3.09 ERA, 0.91 whip, 8.72 strikeouts per 9, which is 25%, 1.69 walks per 9, a 205 BABIP, a 4.61 FIP, and a 3.62 SIERA. On the flip side, Brandon Pfaadt, 4.99 ERA, 1.37 whip, 7.63 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%, 3.23 walks per 9, a 299 BABIP, a 4.64 FIP, and a 4.32 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards these Minnesota Twins, as well as the hitting edge, 125 WRC plus, which is 4th, compared to 116, which is 6th. For me, it is Minnesota or nothing. That's the only way I'm looking in this game. It would be Minnesota full game money line or nothing. They're a little public to me, which kind of gives me a little pause, but the only way I would look in this game is laying $1.20 with them on the road here. That's the only way I can look in this game. It's a pass for me, though, to end the card. But that would be the only way I can look.
Yeah, I'm happy with my card for today.
I am too. It's nothing but sides.
There you go. These are two teams. I mean, I was high on the Arizona Cardinals coming into the year.
Diamondbacks. You said Cardinals.
Yes, I did. Cardinals. No, Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you said the Arizona Cardinals.
You know what? Stop it. You're confusing me right now. Stop. I was high on the Diamondbacks coming into the year. I have their division ticket. Obviously, it's not going to come through. These are two teams that Minnesota was not high on. So it is backing P. Fatty and the Diamondbacks are nothing for me. This has been a Twins team that's been better as of late. The Diamondbacks are kind of putting themselves in that wild card spot, in that wild card race, though. So I will give them credit there. They're back within 2 games under 500 after kind of struggling to start the year there. They're currently tied with the Nationals and the Mets, a game and a half back of the Padres. So we'll see how that goes. I lean Diamondbacks here, but not enough for me to bet it.
Fair.
Hard Rock minus 150, first 5.
I don't have Hard Rock, so yeah.
Oh, there you go. Lewis props. I'm not going to talk you off of
Royce Lewis.
Royce Lewis. He's been a beast. That is all the games for today. We'll quickly pay the bills and recap and then head on out. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate all the support. Check out all links in the description below: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're posting on all of those every single day now, with us being back from the trip. If you guys are interested in becoming a member of the channel, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. You get all the plays that we put up on the site. I posted that out already, so it's already out. And then make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Trying to reach 4,000 subscribers on ESB. I believe we're about 40 away. Recap for today. I'm obviously on the Orioles every single day. Phillies in the over. Lindor props. Burleson props for player props for Mets and the Cardinals. Royals run line. Astros run line. And finishing on out with the Natties. Nick?
Yeah, we have the Philadelphia Phillies minus 125, Bet365. Tampa Bay Rays first 5 plus 106, FanDuel. Toronto Blue Jays first 5 minus 105, Bovada. Chicago White Sox plus 190, FanDuel. Kansas City Royals minus 1.5 plus 104, FanDuel. Houston Astros minus 1.5 minus 125, Fanatics. Texas Rangers first 5 minus 110, Bet365. Oakland Athletics plus 110, Bet365.
There you go. That is going to do it for this one. We'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Until next time, let's go Mets. Beat the other team from New York.